Good Monday, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. Welcome to February 1st, 2016, and it is a mild one this morning. We've got temperatures already climbing into the 50s, and we were in the 50s and lower 60s yesterday with some records around the region. This is the video forecast discussion for February 1st, 2016. Temperatures soared on Sunday into the upper 50s and lower 60s across the region as southwesterly winds took hold and lots of snow melt occurred yesterday, and that's good news. And normal temperatures for this time of the year are averaging right around 40 degrees, so we're well above the normals yesterday, and we're going to be well above them today as well. Morning pass of the visible satellite imagery this morning shows clouds increasing across the forecast region. They're of the high and middle level variety, but they're increasing ahead of a weak cold front approaching from the west this morning. You can see a little bit of that lift here across central Pennsylvania into New York State. And the radar this morning is showing that thin line of showers across the region as they make their way east towards our region early this afternoon. A better look at this morning with the mid and high level clouds across the region. The rain showers out towards western and southwestern Pennsylvania into southeastern Ohio this morning as this weak cold front moves in our direction. And the temperatures behind the cold front are going to start to fall off shortly and slowly, but still we're going to expect that to be short-lived as rain is on the way for Tuesday night and Wednesday, and temperatures again soaring back into above normal levels and probably near record levels in a few spots as well. Watches, warnings, and advisories. We have small craft advisories on the coastal waters from Jersey down through the back bays of the Delaware here in the open ocean waters until 4 p.m. this afternoon, and also for the South Shore and east ends of Long Island until around late tonight, early tomorrow morning. On the aviation and weather deck this morning, a cold front will cross the region this afternoon, followed by lower clouds and an area of rain behind it. The best chances for lower ceilings and visibilities are higher amounts of rain or across southern two-thirds of the forecast region, so temperature groups will longer periods of lower conditions in those areas, improving conditions tonight after the front passes. For Tuesday, VFR, light northerly winds turning east. Tuesday night, VFR ceilings conditions lowering to MVFR and IFR in the I-95 corridor west late. Showery rains and some fog develop after midnight. Wednesday, occasional MVFR and IFR conditions and rain and fog. The rain will likely be heavy at times, and there is a low chance of a lightning, mainly southeast of Philadelphia. Southerly winds gusting to 30 knots in the afternoon. Wednesday night, winds shift to the northwest and may gust to 20 knots late. MVFR or IFR conditions and showers and fog early, then improving to VFR later in the day. Remaining showers eventually diminished by the end from west to east. Thursday, VFR conditions, northwesterly gust up to 20 knots, and Friday, mainly VFR, northwest winds diminish during the day. Right now outside of Newark, it's already warming. It's 39 degrees, dew point 35, humidity 86%. The wind is southwest at 8. A few clouds at 15,000, 20,000, and 25,000. And we're expecting a light shower in the vicinity this afternoon as that cold front comes through. Right now in New York City, it's already warming. It's up to Central Park's up to 50 right now. Dew point 36, humidity 58%. Right now in Philadelphia, 47 degrees, dew point 38, 71% on the humidity. Wind is southwest at 8. A few clouds scattered at 19,000, broken at 26,000. VFR conditions in place right now. Little light rain coming in late this afternoon behind the cold front. Lots of storm reports as the system coming into the west coast now moving into the Rockies this morning. And as it's doing so, it's producing a lot of snow across portions of Wyoming and Utah and parts of Colorado this morning and yesterday as well. We had a lot of wind damage. We had a lightning strike here in Clark County. Fire department lightning set fire to a tree and house in Las Vegas County's country club on Sunday afternoon and evening. We had wind gusts into the 60s and 70s here across portions of Arizona and south of Las Vegas here. Plenty of wind and storm damage here with lots of flash flooding and very, very strong winds in Southern California, also into the Sierra Nevadas here and then into Nevada proper. All of this storm system is moving into the Central Plains, and we've got lots of watches and warnings going on in this entire forecast region. Also in New Mexico, very, very strong winds and damage reports as well from thunderstorms and non-thunderstorms across the region yesterday afternoon and this morning as well. systems now pulling out of California and Las Vegas, but they still have some winter storm warnings in effect until Monday evening, until tonight. And of course, as the further east you go into Colorado Rockies here and in the Central Plains here, we've got winter storm warnings and blizzard warnings up towards Lincoln here and up towards just south of Des Moines and into Iowa. Blizzard warnings into effect until Wednesday morning. A big storm system cutting across here. We've got red flag warnings for fire danger here from Lubbock all the way down through southwestern Texas this morning. Parts of New Mexico also have high wind warnings. A very strong dynamic storm system, and it's going to be heading up towards the Central Plains and then eventually up towards New England with rain on the way for the mid-Atlantic states. Forecast charts now. This storm heading out into the Central Plains and the Colorado Rockies Front Range with lots of snow and occurring in this region here. Rain on the southeastern side. The weak cold front passing off the Jersey coast this afternoon. Rain associated with that, some light rain showers. Then everything just turns into this big storm, which is going to produce near blizzard conditions across the upper Midwest during the day tomorrow and tomorrow night. And it's also going to produce some flooding concerns with moderate pockets of rain and thunderstorms across the central and south portion here into Louisiana. And the storm system is really going to begin to ramp up actually across the Central Plains with blizzard conditions on the northwest side. This storm system then heads up towards the Great Lakes region. The warm front will be approaching our region from the south and west during the day on Tuesday and Tuesday night with increasing clouds, and then rain moving into the forecast region on Tuesday night and Wednesday ahead of this cold front. The cold front reaches the coast by early Thursday morning and then offshore. Southern flank of this has some waves of low pressure along it which remain offshore as high pressure briefly builds into the forecast region for Friday into the weekend. And then, of course, we have a series of disturbances in the polar flow which will be moving into the forecast region during early next week. Forecast charts from the GFS this afternoon. Here comes the cold front, and with it, a few showers across the region as it makes its way south and east across the region late today and early tonight. Then high pressure builds in across the region near normal temperatures for tomorrow. It's going to be a lot cooler than it is during today, but not by much, not terribly so. It's still going to be above normal, but only by a few degrees. And here comes our big storm across the Central Plains and the Northern Plains, heading up towards the Great Lakes. And the warm front and the rain couple it with it. And the showers will be periodic around the region during the day on Wednesday afternoon, and Wednesday evening. And some of the rain could fall heavy at times. And of course, we're going to be in very strong southwesterly flow, lots of snow melt, and a chance for some small stream flooding, as well as local flooding from any drainage areas that are blocked by some of the melting snowpack. So we'll be monitoring that. No wide stem river gauges are forecasting flooding at this time, but small stream flooding and street flooding is likely, or urban flooding rather, is likely across the region as the front stalls out and slows up just a little bit with waves of low pressure along it, but remaining out to sea. And then high pressure builds in for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and this offshore cold front and disturbances will remain out to sea. Now, things get interesting, calm basically for the area for the beginning part of the new week. So Punxsutawney Phil and his cohorts come out tomorrow, but I can guarantee you that this warm temperature regime that we're in for the next couple of days will be coming to a screeching halt, and then temperatures are probably going to start going back down again to near normal and even below normal temperature regime as we head into the early and mid part of late next week, with disturbances in the polar flow cutting across southeastern Canada, dragging colder influences, weak cold fronts through the region, reinforcing colder shots. Now, the GFS by next Monday wants to bring another storm out of the Gulf here. Interaction with the polar disturbance here across the Great Lakes means that it's showing that something's going to form here, and if we're going to be front-ended with snow and then back-end it with rain, well, we just don't know how all of this is going to interact yet, and it's only the beginning because the model guidance begins to diverge highly with each member as we head further into the future. So a volatile forecast and a very wet period coming up for the northern mid-Atlantic states. By the time we get this storm out of the way here for the middle part of the week, its influences on the upper air pattern is going to change quite a lot. We've got strong stratospheric warming occurring, and it's also going to warp and change the location of the polar vortex, and definitely colder times are ahead. As we head into the weekend, we can see the 850 millibar temperatures already beginning to crash with more ridging showing up, positive PNA here across the western United States, and eventually all this cold air is going to continue to build east-southeast across the forecast region in waves. And by the time we get into the middle and later part of next week, the northern plains frigid. And this cold expansion of true Arctic cross-polar flow air is going to spread south and east across most of the eastern United States, excepting southern Florida, and it's just going to come crashing down. In fact, even portions of northern Florida could be in for hard freezes, and obviously vegetation will be affected by this. Warm temperature regime setting up across the western United States with ridging. This is a positive PNA. This is a negative AO and negative North Atlantic oscillation, and you can see that this warm spell that we're in now isn't going to last too much because there's going to be waves and waves of polar and Arctic air coming in with these disturbances, and the eastern United States is going to go back into the refrigerator or possibly even freezer, depending on how you're looking at it. So you can trust us here at Garden State Weather, or you can trust Punxsutawney Phil tomorrow when he comes out and either sees or does not see a shadow. I can tell you now, it doesn't really matter to me because winter is going to be here for the next 6 weeks at least. For everything live, it's GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You have a very pleasant Monday. We'll be back bright and early on Tuesday.